Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another Magic Arena Explorer video. So today we are making use of some new cards from Explorer Anthology 3, and we are playing Is It Creativity with the Xenagos Worldspine Wurm combination. So for those who haven't seen this, although the deck did win a Pro Tour, so hopefully you have, but essentially like all creativity decks, we are trying to destroy two artifacts and or creatures that we control, so treasures, goblin tokens, whatever it may be. And essentially we are then using the creativity to fetch the only two creatures we run in the deck, which are Xenagos, God of Revels, and Worldspine Wurm. So in combination, Worldspine Wurm is a 15/15 with Trample, that when it dies you create three 5/5 green worm creature tokens with Trample, and when it's put into the graveyard from anywhere, you shuffle it into its owner's library. And Xenagos, God of Revels, is a 6/5 indestructible, with the Devotion clause that all the Theros gods have. But crucially, it says at the beginning of combat on your turn, another target creature you control gains haste and gets +X until end of turn, where X is that creature's power. So you fetch these two out and you attack with a 30/30 Worldspine Wurm. Is essentially the idea behind that. And then the rest of the deck is essentially around assembling and defending that combo. So we've got, as you'd expect, 4 copies of Indomitable Creativity, the kind of key card of the deck. Then we've got 4 Big Score and an Unexpected Windfall for creating treasure tokens. 4 copies of Fable of the Mirror Breaker, which creates Shaman tokens, which obviously also create treasure tokens, but we can target those and a Reflection of Kiki Jiki in a pinch if we need to with creativity. We have Secrets of the Key, which creates clue tokens. Again, we could use those, target those. And then the rest of the deck is removal spells and cantrips and counter spells. So we've got a Spell Pierce and 3 Make Disappear and a Negate, all about protecting the different bits of our combo. And then we've got 4 copies of Fiery Impulse, 3 Spike Field Hazard, and 4 Volcanic Spite as removal spells. Volcanic Spite is particularly important because you don't want either bits of this combo in your hand, and you need a way of getting rid of them. Obviously, you can discard the Worldspine Wurm and it'll get shuffled back into your library. It's harder to do that with Xenagos, so you need a way of putting it on the bottom of your library. And then we've got 4 copies of Impulse as well, which lets us look for the bits of the combo we need and also put the other things on the bottom of our library as and when we choose. And then the mana base, broadly as you expect, a lot of dual lands, some utility lands as well. We run 2 copies of Soken Zan just because it creates 2 tokens, so it gives us another potential hit or targets for creativity. An Otawara, and then we run 2 copies of the Mirex as well. Again, a token generating land that's hard for the opponent to play around. And then in the sideboard, we've got our kind of counterspell package. We've kind of seen all of these before. So Aether Gust, Disdainful Stroke, Negate, and Mystical Dispute. Then for additional removal, we've got Rending Volley and Brotherhood's End. So this one particularly useful at dealing with blue and white spells. Brotherhood's End as a mass removal spell. And then we have our alternative finishers, because there will be times when you'll need to take out this combo, just because it's the opponent will be playing a deck which interacts with it far too easily. And so you can either bring in 3 copies of Shark Typhoon, which you can either use to create a big shark by cycling or kind of hard cast it, and then 2 copies of Hullbreaker Horror as well, which is particularly useful when you're playing control decks, as it can't be countered, and if you get it onto the battlefield and untap with it, it's basically very hard to remove from the battlefield. So that is essentially the deck. As I say, this deck did win a Pro Tour, so let's see how it does on the ladder. I am not as good a Magic player as Reed Duke. Shock horror. You may be horrified to discover this fact, but it is one. And yeah, let's see how we go on with this deck. Hit those like and subscribe buttons. Thank you for watching as ever. We'll keep the Explorer Anthology content coming. And yeah, let's see how we go on with this. Okay, we'll keep the video relatively short. This is hardly a brew. We've all hopefully seen this deck before, so maybe just play a couple of games, see how it goes on. This is a decent enough hand. Needs the creativity, but we'll get there. Unlucky Witness does not line up well against Spikefield Hazard, I'm pleased to say, so let's investigate. Let's pass the turn. Okay. Let's take one of these down. Let's play our Stormcarve Coast. Pass the turn again. So our opponent's playing Rakdos Sacrifice. We'll counter that, I think. Okay, not ideal. We really need a fourth land, but let's just pass the turn. Okay. Well, let's Volcanic Spite that. Let's pop Impulse on the bottom of the library. Okay. Well, this is pretty rough. Let's make that disappear. Okay, Toven. Okay, we at least have our land, so let's pass the turn and start preparing to big score. These are functionally the same card, aren't they? Yes. Okay, Oven and it's all livable. Playing the Firstborn doesn't do anything for them here. Do we just play that? No, I don't. I'm really not that fussed about that, actually. Okay, let's. Still no creativity to our name, so let's pass the turn again. We've still got time. They're not killing us quickly at the moment, so. Sure. Right, let's hit it again. Ugh. Well, let's take down one of their creatures. Not thrilled about having Worldspine Wurm in my hand and no sign of any creativities, but such is the life that we've built for ourselves. Doesn't see much. Can't counter it, so we're stuck with it. Thank you. Bye. Creativity one time. Oh, I see. Oh, let's create a 1/1. Well, let's just make a lot of. I mean, I could just play Xenagos, I suppose. And that was a rather tragic state of affairs. Could have easily won that game, actually. The opponent was really not putting us under much pressure at all, but sadly not to be. Oh well, let's pop in a couple of Brotherhood's Ends and an Eighth August. Spikefield Hazard is good here. Let's take out Spell Pierce, negate Unexpected Windfall. Let's try again. Yep, that's decent enough. Okay, put Toven into play. Yeah, Eighth August the Harvester. I think let's just slow them down a bit. Let's pop Fable of the Mirror Breaker into play. What am I discarding here? I think let's discard Hazard. Plop the Mirex into play. Make an attack. Pass the turn. Interesting. I use the word interesting quite wrongly. Okay, another oven. Oven away, my friend. I shall big score. Discarding a land. I'm being punished for something here. Probably some sin I committed in a previous life. Let's drop another land and let's just hold up Impulse for the end of their turn. I think digging 8 cards deep, you'd think I'd be able to find a creativity somewhere. Sure. Well, we'll take a fiery impulse. Actually, no, let's take volcanic spite. Now let's look again. I'll take a make disappear. Okay, 8 cards deep, no sign. I'm a patient person, really, but there are limits. Alright, let's kill that. Pass the turn. Yep. Not that fussed about either of those. Any of those. Yes, you may have Old Nixilis. Okay, let's go again. What did I do to offend the gods of the draw today? Okay, well, that's not going to work on Old Nixilis, so let's pass the turn. Okay, well, we're running out of time here, so better go quickly. Yeah, got one turn, basically. Okay, here we go again. Get another look at it. Nope, that's not going to do it. Oof, okay, that was slightly ridiculous in those two games, but let's try again. Um, yeah, sounds good enough. Needs Needs a creativity, but apparently we didn't put any in the deck, so this is a fine enough starting point. I see your sleeves. Dimir control, perhaps? Looks likely. Okay, so we've got all the bits we need. Now we just need to not be interrupted, which does seem a big ask. Okay, let's see what our opponent has to offer. The answer seems to be at the moment not very much. Just draw go. Let's give this a go and see what happens. Okay, I can live with divide by 0. Cannot live with that being in my hand, though. And currently no way of getting rid of it. Now let's get rid of it. Push is fine. Storm carved coast is good. Let's keep both creativities just in case. Investigate. Let's play the Mirex because that gives us some inevitability. Boo. Coward. I think eventually I draw some counter spells. Environmental sciences, sure. Still don't think it's worth it at this point. I want one counter spell backup. Okay. Draw. Okay, I've now got enough to creativity twice, so I think it is worth doing. Right, let's try again. If they've got the counters, good for them, but yep. No, okay, let's go to game 2. Let's pop in Hullbreaker Horror, Disdainful Stroke, negate Mystical Dispute. Let's take out Fiery Impulse. One Spike Field Hazard. I'm going to leave in the Volcanic Spikes because they're quite important for. I am also going to leave in the combo because it's very. If you can get around their counter spells, it does become their deck does become very vulnerable. Yeah, this will do for the time being. Sea Shark, eh? I'm a fan. I like what they're doing with the place. That's big score while the shields are down. Fair enough. Let's Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Okay, I'm very happy that's resolved. Are we discarding anything here? I think we can discard Windfall and probably Soken Zan as well. Okay, let's go to attacks. Cast another Fable. Yeah, let's Disdainful Stroke that. I do think they're running out of road here. Yep. No. Let's hit them with a Hullbreaker Horror. Sure. Destroyer was no less thick in its controller's graveyard. Alright. Da 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 dum da da dum bum 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 da 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 da. Oh well, at least we made it work once. Take out another Make Disappear. Pop in a Rending Volley. Are we popping in a Rending Volley? Yeah, actually, let's pop in a couple of Rending Volleys because they have Seed Sharks. Good enough. They're going big on the shocking themselves here. And we shall join them. Well, I'm having a good time. Because I'm a cruel, cruel man. Ooh, ooh, I mean, that is tasty. That is very tasty. I think we are almost nailed on to win from here. Absolutely not, I'm afraid. Who knew? So there we are. That is it creativity with the Worm Xenagos combo. Yeah, it did okay there after a fairly tragic first match where we just couldn't draw a creativity to save our lives. It did come roaring back. Um, so we'll leave it there. That's the deck list one more time. You know, we've all seen this deck in action. I just wanted to play it now that it's officially on Arena. Sadly, the metagame has somewhat moved on from this combination, and just like Atraxa and other things are generally better. But you know, still fun to do, and when it goes off, it is a fun thing. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I will see you next time.